got some people here, we're supporting black business as well. We've got caterers, we've got some entertainment. So whenever you come here, we want to empower, we want to educate, we want to cover some topics. At some point we covered networking, at some point we covered, you know, the keys for business strategy. At some point we covered some inspiration where we had some executives, marketing directors, managing directors who came and told their stories of their careers to inspire other people. Sometimes we'll just, you know, when you come here, you'll hear testimonials of people to say, why do you keep coming back here? Sometimes when you come here, you will give opportunities for businesses, for career professionals to come and showcase what they're about and what their business is about and what they have to offer so that we all know about each other and we can support each other in a very real ways. But for us to grow, you need to come here, you need to invite more people, you need, when we go on social media, Black Business Growth Tuesdays, like, share, tell people, and if there are any issues, right? And one of the key objectives today, you know, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the concept of project management or, you know, of software development called Scrum. And one of the key things there is to say, don't start a project, let's say you're developing software, right? Don't start a project and then at the end say, okay guys, here it's ready, and the people who use it, they say, no, this is wrong, that is wrong. Rather at different stages, even if it's not complete, bring the people who are going to use this thing so that you can get their ideas and incorporate them as quickly as possible. Any things that you might not have seen as people who might not use that system, they can have an outsider's view and they can help you with that. So that's one of the key reasons we've asked you to come in here and look at this website so we can show you what it's about. My name is Sazi Ndwandwa. Thank you all very much for being here today. I look forward to chatting afterwards. We're going to have food, we're going to have some music. This is not just an educational, it's not just about transformation, it's also about getting to know each other. Whether you are an executive somewhere, creating a space where you can talk and say, hey man, I'm the only black executive in a boardroom and I'm having these challenges. Many of us have faced those things here. We can talk about those. Some of us, we can say, hey, I've just moved to Cape Town 3 months ago. I'm happy to be here to meet some people. Say, come, this is also a space for you to meet other people so that we see less and less of these blogs where people say, I'm back in Gauteng, I was in Cape Town for 4 years, I was on antidepressants, this, that, it's such a lonely place. You know? So this thing is multidimensional, but for it to work, we need to come together like this. We need to help each other grow, and we need to just basically be united in this, our role as, you know, as a black middle class as far as transforming South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saz. Look, for me, I started being a member of BBGI when it started in 2019. And as an artist, a lot of the times you try and find ways to make money and to how do I make money, how do I grow as a person, etc. And I have to say, BBGI has helped me to grow and develop so much as a person. And just my way of thinking might just change. And now I can actually believe that, you know what, my dreams are possible. It is possible for it to happen. And that's because I'm surrounding myself with a community. People who can hold me accountable to my dreams, people who can motivate me, you know, and encourage me. And I'm really grateful for that. And I always tell my friends, look, if you want to join, if you want to grow as a person, this is a platform for you. And it's also helped me so much more as an artist as well. You know, as an actor, we're always drawing from people's life experiences, from our own experiences as well. So that's one way that it's kind of helped me to develop as well as a person. So thank you so much as well, Butsas, for explaining once again. Right now, I'm going to hand over to Buthepi, who's going to talk us through the website. Already, But not yet? All right, let's give him a couple more seconds whilst he prepares himself and he gets ready. What am I going to do? Do I have any stories? Do I have anything to share in the meantime? Tell her, oh, yes, I can do that. So last year, August, when lockdown happened, from April, we were rehearsing a play. And because we couldn't perform and most theaters closed down, we couldn't do live theater anymore. So what I decided to do is grab a couple of people that I went to AFDA with and, and created a network and say, guys, here's a script. We would like to shoot this as a film. In fact, the vision was not even to shoot it as a film as such. It was just to do it in a theater space, in an empty space, and just shoot it. And then the guys came along and they said, look, let's make this as a film. And people came with venues and said, look, you can shoot at this venue. We actually shot at the locations. We shot in a courtroom in Paarl. We also used the cell rooms. And the story is literally based on law versus justice, you know. And it's following two characters who are friends. One in the apartheid, my character is an activist. He wants to fight against what the system is doing. And then you got this white Boer comes and says, look, don't do that. Don't use the tools of violence, how they're treating you. Why don't you use the tools of law? Because you're a lawyer at the end of the day. And then he actually talked him out of it. Now, in the present, the same guy who took me out of it, he commits a crime because he shoots 3 guys, and now I'm coming to represent him as a lawyer. And the reason why he did that, because they took away his family. So that's the short story. That's the short version of it. And you know, thank you for reminding me, Tank, because I think for me, this was a testimony of saying, you know, sometimes we want to start something. We want to start a dream or whatever it is, and we talk ourselves out of it. And the reason why we talk ourselves out of it, because you say, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have all of this, and then you don't end up actually starting the idea. With me, I didn't have the money for this film, but then people were able to say, look, I'll come and jump on board, I'll offer this, I'll bring a camera. I mean, the equipment that we're using, they're more than 4 million rands. You know, we're using a RED, a camera, prime lenses. You know, we're really using proper stuff. We had big trucks. Every day when we were shooting, I was like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? You know, from starting with absolutely nothing. But, you know, but because I reached out to people, I spoke to people, and people were able to come on board. So if you do have a dream, don't talk yourself out of it. Carry on to walk towards it. Carry on planting the seed. Carry on watering it. You don't know who's going to come with what. Someone might just come with millions. You don't know that. You know, so yeah, don't give up on that. But, okay, no, what else? There's more stories, eh? I can go on. Yes, we've gotten into festivals, 2 international festivals in Italy, and the Cannes Festival as well, which is going to be in France. So this is really exciting. What else, please? You're asking the right questions. You're asking the right questions. So yeah, am I related to Beast? No, I'm not. I'm not related to Beast. Do I look like Beast? No, I'm not related to Beast. Anyone that has anything else you want to share? I can bring more exercise games. I'm not sure if you guys want that, but I don't want to kill you today. Anything else? You want to sing a song for us? You can sing one of your songs. All right, thank you so much. Give it up for Tanki, so ladies and gentlemen. Woo! You need me as a backup. Which one would you like?
Overture. Please help me.
Sorry.
Don't rip my ear off.
Please, I must take it off.
Thank you. Molweni. I just want to say I've known Luntu for many years. I've never seen him with this much energy. It's a little bit scary for me. And yes, I don't like it, and I'm trying to. But my name is Tanki Somama Bolo, and I'm a singer and I'm an actor. I was asked by Luntu to perform tonight, and it's a pleasure. There's COVID, so any chance we get, you run there, you know. This is a song. It's the first song in my debut independently produced album called Freedom Hurts Sometimes, that you can find on all streaming platforms. It's called I Am Here. Please start over. Performing live is amazing because you can just tell people to start over. This doesn't happen on Netflix, so appreciate this. Can it be a little bit louder? Though I shall fear no evil, though I walk through the valley of death. I shall fear no evil, though I walk through the valley of death. I shall fear no evil, though I walk through the valley of death. I fear no evil. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here.
Ntata rona ya mahodimong, lebitso la hao le kgethehe, mmuso wa hao o tle, thato ya hao e etsuwe lefatsheng jwalo ka lehodimong. O re fe kajeno bobe ba rona ba letsatsi le leng le le leng. O re tshwarele dibe tsa rona jwalo ka ha re lo.
I've seen rivers in your eyes. I've dreamed of the sweetest goodbye. I've dreamed of a lifetime where you're mine. For you are the stone that the builder refused. I've seen rivers in your eyes. I've dreamed of the sweetest goodbye. I've dreamed of a lifetime where you're mine. For you are the stone that the builder refused. I am there. I am there. I am there. I am here. I am there. I am there. I am there. I am
You'll get more. You'll get more. All right, I'm going to hand over to Put Happy, who's going to talk us through the website now. Or, okay. Wait.
John Ledger. Evening all, Nijani. Oh, good. Igama nguHappy Chikana. I've been tasked to showcase and give you an overview of what we're here for today. So it's a website, it's a marketplace. We're very proud to show this to you, as you'd understand. Any website, any platform, any marketplace, any store or online store, it's digital, right? It grows. As it grows, it's scalable. It's innovative, so over time, it will grow. And we hope what you see here is just the beginning.
And what you see here is a start of many things to come. And we want to grow with you. So over time, we'll keep introducing new features. We'll keep innovating. We'll keep partnering. We'll keep pushing our development team to, to better what we're going to show you here. We'll keep pushing our partners to partner with us to deliver a product, that's going to make us and make the people we represent quite proud. So here we go. So what we're showing today is a website called BBGI. That's how you go to your browser, bbgi.co.za. Just an overview, when you go to your landing page, it just gives you a quick summary of what you can expect from BBGI, right? It gives you an overview of what the testimonials are. You get to read about those. Tells you what's been happening in the past, all the events, obviously pre-COVID. If you go to the About tab, it then goes into the meaty part. What's BBGI? Who are we? What do we represent? Please go through that, read through that. It gives you a bit of notes from the CEO, which will update as time goes. And we thought we'd share with you who we are. There will be some usual suspects here, and some guy. Hey, I don't know this person, but. And if you go to the next one, it's events, right? Within the events, it shows you what's coming up. This is where we're at to date. This is the 10th of June. This is where we are right now. These are the past events. We wanted to give you an overview of where they've been happening at Personal Trust. And Mr. Gomez, it also gives you an opportunity to purchase a ticket, to that particular event. And then the meaty part, of course, is the marketplace. Now, this is where the guys have been working hard on. Obviously, if you have already registered with us, you only simply log in, right? It gives you those options to log in. Or you sign up as a supplier, where it gives you a form. You sign up, we vet you, then we give you the credentials. In fact, you put in the credentials, and you're online. When you get online, as you can see, it picks up my address here, where I'm at. You go to the marketplace. This is where all the magic happens. This is where all your stores will be. These are the categories that you currently have available. Once again, this is scalable. These will grow over time as we load people, as people register, as people sign up. These are companies that we currently have, and we are to load more, post this session. One thing I would please ask everyone who engages or registers is to give us as much info as possible. It's always important to give us your quality work, give us a quality logo, give us your address so we can drop a pin and ensure that whoever wants to access a particular service goes to your pin, goes to your page and has a number that they can call, or goes to that particular address or email address. Anything that will help you. So give us as much info as possible. Because if you do not, for example, we thought we'd show you here, there isn't any address. It doesn't really help much for anyone that wants to go in. If you do not give us a logo, that's of quality, this is what happens. It doesn't really gives you a very good representation. So we encourage people to give us as much info as possible. And when you go to a particular store, just to quickly demonstrate without using my money, because I do not have any, if I were to select one product, for example, from God Hours, which is 1 hour of individual costing, at that much. So, it gives, yeah, that's how much it will take us if it's you. You check out, if you're already registered, like I said, you then have to put in, it redirects you to Pay Fast, where you actually have to put in your credit card details. and then, yeah, Bob's your uncle. But if you have not logged in, then you have to put in your login details, and then it again redirects you to PayFast or the payment engine. It also has very nice features where it actually gives you an opportunity to search, and you're thinking, I'm looking for coaching, I'm looking for workshops. Okay, do these guys have workshops? You simply go workshops, and immediately that comes up. So anything that has workshops within the database or within the store, it pops up. And you're thinking, all right, I do not see the store I'm looking for, but I know the name. Or, how do I find it? You simply search once again. Hutano is one of our stores, for example, and that store comes up. You go to the store. When you get to the store, you get to engage with the individual, you get to understand where they are, and you can drive there if you want to, or you can make arrangements. So that's basically pretty much about it, about the website. And once again, when you share information or when you register, try and give us as much information as possible. We think this is, the sky is the limit here. This is scalable. This can grow. We're going to innovate this. We're going to push our internal development team. We're going to engage with our partners, and we want to grow with you. So help us help you. Let's all do this together. That's the message. And if you go to the last two items on the menu, it's just your frequently asked questions. That's self-explanatory, and just the contact details. So you will take questions on this when the time comes.
Ask your neighbor, are you excited? Ask your neighbor, are you excited? Don't be scared. Are you excited? Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited. I think we're going to have a quick Q&A just for you guys. If you have any questions you want to ask about the website, I don't know, we can go around the room. Does it? But happy, do you want to stay here? Yeah, you can stay here. And then I'll just bring the mic around. If you have any questions, just put your hand up, please. Here's our first one right here.
Molweni. Pudhepi, I saw you said if you're looking for, let's say, Hutal or the company, Gold Hours or whatever, you just type maybe the first few letters and it comes up. What if you're looking for, say, tires, but you've got 5 companies with tires? Can you just type tires and then... Okay, so if whatever I'm looking for, I can just type food, then anything that has to do with food.
If within a category you've got 5 stores.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Sawubona Pudhepi. Okay. Okay, so you register i-service yakho lapho, right? Is there a cost for umuntu ofuna register service yakhe? Like if you're providing maybe consultancy or whatnot, kune cost if I need to come on board to actually have my stuff there?
Oh, COVID safe, okay. Yes, Mhlekazi, there is. Now our pricing structure is 2-pronged, right? One, we want to have a subscription structure, because what we want to do is we want to reward any of our users who buy Black Business, right? So if you register as a customer and you buy, let's say, from your business, we want to, number one, have a subscription that's going to help us run this thing to cover costs. But also, number two, then, depending on the subscription, we'll charge a commission that a part of it we're going to give to the buyer as a reward for them to use within here. But there's a subscription, and then there are basically 4 packages for subscription, the highest one being 1,200 for the year, right? But the higher subscription that you pay, the lower the commission. Because we're basically saying if you give us some money to operate up front, then we'll reward that faith by saying, you know what, this access you have to this market for people who want to, you know, because they believe in the vision, they want to, you know, then we give you a lower commission. So that's basically the pricing structure. We also have something for even customers, you know, subscription plans, such that we say, you know, even when you invite someone in here, right, we give you, and they pay a subscription, right, we give you some of that because we realize there are many issues with people. For instance, if you've been to prison, right, and it's difficult for you to find employment, but you know people. And if you then can invite people to join this and money comes from that, you get a part of that and you can generate an income for yourself that doesn't put you at a disadvantage because of your education or your past or your mistakes or whatever. So that's just another way that we try to create something for other people. Okay. Thank you.
Answered? Awesome.
Thank you for your services.
No problem.
So one of the things I wanted to know, because I sit in strategic design and implementation, is there a vetting process, right? When I speak about the vetting process is to ensure that the user or the buyer is always satisfied with what they're getting. In the sense of, if I want to buy something and I want 100 units, right? And you know, the business does not have that capacity, right? Is a vetting process that categorizes where, you know, the capacity and the abilities of the business. That way, if I know I want something that is of a low cost, I know that I would want 100 units, I need 10 units, I know that I'll go to a smaller business because they can handle that capacity. But if I now want to jump up to 1,000, 200,000 units, I can't necessarily go to a smaller business because they might not be able to meet that demand, and they might end up dropping the ball and losing a potential customer. Because what we are interested in the BMF is to create a system where competency is strong. That way the product will always be satisfactory. That way we create trust within the system, because we feel that as a black business, as a black network, it's extremely important for us to have competency as a forefront of what we're doing. So that trust is established for continuous growth.
Mic check.
So for the audience who are watching via virtual computer.
Okay, thank you. I think number one, when it comes to vetting, right, and you won't see it here because we didn't go through the background. But number one, when you register as a supplier, we want to make sure that when you support a business, it's black owned, black managed, right? So that's number one part of the vetting process that we want to have in place, right? Now we also, and we're having a conversation here, we're being honest, right, about where we are so that you can give us inputs, which is important. So one of the things is that, you know, we're also looking for legal minds who are actually advising us to say, well, can you say this is for black businesses only? Constitutionally, might you have a challenge? Or is it better to have all businesses in here but have a way to identify, to say, if you support this business, right, that is transformation. You can identify a black business, women-owned, youth-owned, whatever the case may be, number one. And also the subscription plans and the rewards that we give, we align them to that. That's number one. As far as vetting, you triggered me with that. Number two, I think your question also is an ideological one, right? Because, you know, for instance, I've quoted it at some of these events where I say, you know, I've heard, for instance, Ngwaitobi mentioned an example. I know Vusitembe Kwai mentions this example as well, where he says, you know, 30 years ago, or however many years ago, when Sanlam or FNB or whatever started, right, they made their mistakes, right? Any business that starts, anyone who begins to walk, they're going to trip, they're going to fall at some point. But there was such a clear intention to support those guys that despite their mistakes, they are given an opportunity to learn from those mistakes and to grow from that. So that's one side from us where we're saying that we want this thing to be developmental so that, as you are saying, want to put a rating system there. When you use someone, you give feedback. And you can say, I wasn't happy with the time, I wasn't happy with the quality, I wasn't happy with the communication, I wasn't happy with the price, whatever it is, right? So if we identify something, we say it's recurring, we say, SARS, you know, man, it looks like people who work with you, we need to train you, right? We need to work with you and partner so that you can grow. It seems like you've got this area that you need to develop. And we find that it's endemic within, you know, a number of suppliers. Then we call and we have some kind of training and we say, guys, we need to sort this thing out. So that's the ideology I'm talking about. We say we want it to be progressive, so because all of us, this is, if Nike started in 1961, this is our 1961, right? And we can't be comparing our businesses that are starting off with a business that is 30 years old, that's got all this money, all these resources, and all this maturity that's behind it. But what you're saying is very important, is that we're not saying it's okay to be mediocre. We're saying it's okay to make mistakes from time to time, but learn from those, don't repeat them. What it also means is that as a community here, we're saying that we support you despite those things, as long as we can see that your attitude is there and you are growing and you are responding to the advice that you're getting, right? I think I've basically, and then the other one, right? And Happy, this might be a technical one. When we were playing around with the site, when you register for each product, you say what is the maximum quantity and what is the minimum quantity, right? So as part of our vetting, that's something that probably we'll be looking at as well, to say, well, if you're starting out, you can't accept an order for 1,000 units when, you know, you're at a level where you should be at 20, you understand? So we all understand those things. If you look at the CIDB, there's rating levels to say, well, you've done work for 1 million, therefore, you know, you can take up work for 2 million. You can't go and take something for 200 million. So definitely, thank you for that important question.
Thank you.
Good evening to everyone, firstly, and onke balapha. I think it's a very important evening. Siyabulela ngenkxaso ekhoyo nathi siyabulela abantu nisimemile. Imibuzo yam ke mithathu. Okokuqala ndicela ucacisa uba yintoni i-black business, please define it. Okwesibini nithi masize ku-marketplace, nizayikhulisa njani le market? Okwesithathu uba mna ndiyitrader kunyanzelekile ndifake zonke ii-products zam phandle ndikwazi na ukhetha.
Thank you, TG. So I'll take the last one first. So the last one being, you tell us what you want published on the site. So you decide what you can deliver on. I mean, it goes to the vetting that they were talking about. If you know that you get 100 orders, you're not going to fulfill those orders. Rather give us something that you believe in, something that you can actually deliver on. Your reputation, so as ours, is at stake. Because when we publish you here, we're saying that we vetted you, we believe in you, therefore, and we'll support you. Therefore, you're in a position to deliver that service. And we don't dictate what it is that you want to give us, but as long as you know that you've got the capacity and the capability to deliver against that.
Thank you. Yes, semi-remote mic. I think first and foremost, I want to give a special welcome to Mr. Tando Kobe, who's the Managing Director of Personal Trust. You would have seen when we were going through our website there in our past events, we would have said there, the venue was Personal Trust, so he's one of our sponsors in our previous events. So it's a special honor and privilege to have him here with us. We have grown to be what we are now because of in-class of people like him. What is black business? So, Tina, we are saying here that, you know, we want to work with government because some of the things that government is driving as far as transformation is concerned, we are aligned with those, right? Transformation, therefore, there are laws that define what a black business is, and that's what we want to ascribe for. Because as I mentioned earlier, one of the risks that we want to manage is that we don't want people to come who might not want this thing to grow, to then give an opportunity for them to have an angle to say, legally, you guys are wrong, therefore this thing must be disbanded. So our definition of black business is according to the BBBEE Act and the regulations that come with it. Therefore, we're looking at ownership, we're looking at management. We also, some of those categorizations then around youth, women-owned and all those. So that's what we mean by black business. Number two, this market, how do we grow it? What we've said is that what we're seeing there is a tool. It's a vehicle for us to fulfill a bigger vision, a bigger dream, and that is, the economic transformation of South Africa through unity of us all sitting here. So how do we grow this? And I mentioned earlier, the only way we grow this is as a community growing this thing, right? Number one, for it to grow is that we invite, we participate, and it becomes something that we own as a Black business growth community, you understand? So that's how it's gonna grow. But also very importantly, it's gonna grow if we as individuals, that's one of the values that we talked about. If we as individuals, we grow. And also very importantly, this website that we show in case here, it has to work properly, right? It has to work properly. So when we have people saying we are really putting pressure on our developers, on ourselves to innovate, to make sure this thing works, to bring you in here so that you can see it and at different times to give your inputs so that as the user, it makes sense to you. That's how it's gonna grow, And of course, there are other various things that we have to consider in terms of how we make it grow. On social media, we're active to make people aware of this thing. We rely on you to be able to tell other people. That's why we reward you as well. When you invite someone who joins and says, you know what, Duzi invited me, therefore, this is how it grows, and there's incentive behind that. And it's not just a verbal thank you, but it's a thank you that enables you to be able to buy in the thing as well. I think also something that's very important is that when we give those rewards, we give them as sort of like we create a wallet for you on the system, right? So that you can spend your money here. Rather than saying this thing costs 100 Rand, you get a 10% discount, you pay 90 Rand, you say you still pay the 100 Rand, but the other 10 Rand is available for you to spend within this community. Okay? Thank you.
Final question.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to check first. I was invited by BMF, and I don't recognize any members of BMF here. BMF is in the house, right? Is it? So what relation it is between the two, BMF and BBGI? That's the first question, just for clarity's sake. Secondly, I like the question of the previous speaker about your growth plan. I was part of Shandoka Black Umbrellas when I started my business. Back in the days 2009. So then we launched a Black Pages, which Cyril said is going to compete with Yellow Pages. I'm sure some of you know that. We launched in Waterfront, but it died on the way. So it's food for thought for you directors. As to the growth plan, you did explain, but I'm not satisfied to a certain degree as to how you're gonna be able to, because Cyril as a director at that time, we thought that this thing's gonna blow. Now, and I'm not wanting to divert, but I'm trying to say he was a public figure, but this thing did not really reach where you wanted him to reach. And I don't know what is your strategy here. That's one. Two, we tried this thing at SABEF. I'm sure you guys know SABEF, where Lebo Kunguluza was the president. Now, one of the things that we missed was we tried to launch a platform, but we did not bring corporate SA into the platform. Because now we're going to have a vast businesses in the platform, but you don't have corporates to link those guys. Because if you talk to Woolies, Pick n Pay, Sanlam, whatever else that you can think of, they need to tick some boxes where scorecard and PE is concerned. Now, if you run these things in silo, not parallel to what they are looking for, then immediately there's a problem there. You can have the good number of subscription with SMMEs, but if there's, because we're looking for market there, we don't want to stay there for a year for 1.2, which is not a big amount of money, but we want to get service to provide to who? Then I think one of the things that one has to realize, or what has to tick, is to what could be your potential clients. Then those then will lead you to go and create relationships with those corporate clients for us not to be in a limbo in the market platform, but not getting business. And for the growth is when you make money. I'm sure ku Black Pages. I thought that was my 2 cents comment. Thank you.
What I wanted to touch on about the BMF is that we realize that it is difficult for black business to survive, right? And when initiatives like this happen, we believe in supporting them because we don't know which great idea will manifest. The points you're raising are perfectly, as the BMF we have noticed, they are real. We cannot operate in silo. As much as the BMF, we're for black people, we operate in a society where we have all other races, right? And the businesses that have the majority of the money are not necessarily black. So the question is, how do we create an economy where we can get this money from wherever and make it circulate within? If I hear what you just said, I hear a competent man. And if I hear what Sazi was saying in the beginning, this is meant to be a family where we share these ideas, we sharpen the system, and we get competency, like we said, as the BMF in the forefront on providing transformation. What they are trying to do is going to be hard. There is no two ways about it. And they need support from all professionals who can volunteer their services, who can bring their businesses up front, because the truth of the matter is, those who were before us, the system before us, the system in apartheid, they supported each other. They took bad ideas and made them good. They perfected their system. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, the database should expand even people who want to consult. You know what I mean? The people want to break into the market. And you can use them as a platform to consult. So for me, I appreciate every question that has been asked, because it allows us as a people to think differently and to apply different solutions. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'm trying to have a dialogue instead of Sazi being in heat. He's been shot a couple of times.
All right. Thank you so much. Mutaz, do you have anything else to say?
Taking up. But you know what, I agree with what Mtuduzi is saying, right? And I think your first question, BMF, we've got BMF here on the program. They're going to come and they're going to explain your question to say where's the linkage, you know. Number two, I think Umtu has covered it. And I think, you know, what I was saying earlier as well, to say, guys, this is something that belongs to all of us. The knowledge, the expertise, you know, the experience that you have, right? Bring it here. That's why we're here. So it's wonderful to hear things like that, because then we don't have to go around reinventing things that are already there. When people know this is a pitfall, that's a pitfall, that's a pitfall. But the other thing is, which I think sometimes, you know, gets in the way, right? And sometimes, you know, I work with businesses, right? So you find some scenarios where a business, you've got 2, 3 people, they start a business, right? And when it begins to grow, because they didn't clarify some very key fundamental relational things up front, then dynamics, then the vision disintegrates, and what is a good idea, what is a perfectly monetizable business idea and venture collapses, not because of the idea itself or because of the market, but because of the relational issues. So when we meet like this, one of the things that are going to arise is ideological differences, right? So where we are at this point, we're saying, for this thing to grow, number one, we want to own it, right? We wanted the key driver must the people who come here. They must be the key drivers. Yes, we want to partner, right? And you mentioned it. There are some, if you look at, for instance, around mining, around liquor, around gambling, around what, they have to spend a certain amount of their turnover. And we're already getting some attention from people like that, right? There are ESD, triple BE, you know, we're getting that attention. People say, hey man, it looks like, if I use a crude term, a triple BE farm, it looks like you guys are creating that. If really you can show this person has been on this training, that training, and if we've got problems, there's a rating system, we can come back and, you know, and all those things. You know, so we've been having those conversations, collaborating, you know, talk to YEP, talk to Telkom Business, talk to various corporates. And again, we also have these other structures that are driving black interests, right? So BMF is one of Black Lawyers Association, we're talking with them, Engineering Council, Association for Black Accountants of South Africa, ABASA, etc., etc. We want everyone here, and it's that collaboration that we're talking about. But definitely we invite those conversations. We want to have them so that we can fine-tune this thing as much as possible, especially at this early stage of it. It's very, very critical. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. That was the last one. Sorry, we're running out of time. Sorry, we're running out of time. Can we clap for them again? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ask your neighbor, are you learning? Hi, Bobuza, are you learning? Ask your neighbor. Good. So one of the things that we like to do at BBGI is that we like to get testimonies, because it's easy for us to come and speak and say, yeah, this is what it's about. But what about the people who have actually benefited from it and want to hear it from the mouth of his horse himself? I want to invite Zolisa. Zolisa, can you please come through? Please clap for him. So he's going to share his story. Yeah, come on, clap for him. Thank you. All right. Please, can you just kind of share with us what's been your experience? When did you start actually attending BBGI? And since when you started up to now, what's been your experience, etc.? Yeah?
Thank you. Oh, gosh. Hey, COVID. I get confidence when I'm handling myself, but no, don't worry. COVID. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Zolisa Makadla. I work at the SNAV as a technician, but I also dabble in business just to fight this economic freedom, to make sure that I'm also there. So I was introduced to BBGI by Uputsazi 2019. I think I didn't attend the first one, but the second one I've attended. And since from that time, I actually even volunteered my time to assist with the guys, because what I learned from that time and the excitement and the motivation I left with, I wanted to be part of these guys. So my business is I rent out stretch tents to people privately, functions, and wherever, anyone who needs stretch tents. And I also got a marketing company, but my marketing company does promotions, the promotions that you would get at taverns and stuff like that. So, you know, when I came here, I wanted to learn, but also while I was here, I got, because when you come to these things, you must get money, what this guy was talking about. Not just to come here and share who can speak, who can say the smartest things, who can, like, I can come here and act smart, but I'm not getting anything out. We need to see money here. So through coming here and the interaction we've been having with people, I would get businesses. My people here would, I got a platform, I got a chance to come and explain my business, and then people started calling me, and I started seeing money. So that is what I'm here to testify, that obviously, yes, it's not millions, but it's something. As Putsazi said, we are at our 1961 of Nike. So my testimony is, yes, I am getting business, but obviously being around this space, I will get more business. I will meet a guy here who's a CEO of whatever company, and then they give me a contract with them for, you know, I don't know. So that is why I keep coming here, because I've been getting this. But not only for that, as I said, I'm also into marketing. So the coaching that I would get, because you know what I would do with my business, I would get a business, and that money, before I even get home, it's already been used. I paid petrol, I paid that guy who was putting the tent, I did this, I did that. There's no proper way of doing things, no professionalism. So by being around here and the coachings that I would get at a very cheaper rate, because I would get business coaching from people that have studied this and have been doing with bigger business. So I would get that as well. The other day, Putsaz even gave me a marketing book, and from that, as I started, and he would put me, you know, put me on the spot and would give me this, say, you are the marketing guy here, you need to come up with strategies, you need to do that. And so far, I think, you know, through that type of coaching and that type of growth, I've seen myself, and I've seen that from, you know, things that I never thought, no, I could be like sitting here in front of business people, and, you know, the strategies that I came with are working and are bringing numbers on social media, and, you know, so those things you also learn and you also grow. So I think also in business, as you see your idea, a small idea, you know, growing, that's where you also get more confidence and more passion, and you do more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zolisa. Thank you so much. As Zolisa was talking about business showcase, what we're going to do now, we're going to get someone, Uzola. Zola. I don't know if he's here. Zola is here, but I don't know. Zola is going to be here to showcase his business as well, because as Zolisa was saying, that one of the most important things is about growth and me growing as an individual. And as I was saying earlier on, when I was telling my story, one of the most important things joining BBGI is me growing and developing as a person. All right, Zola, are you ready to showcase your business? Are you ready? Just a second.
I think, there's a question from our guys watching online. This is from Wandile Mnyaka. As black businesses, we are perceived to be corrupt and incompetent. How will this platform change this perception, or how will you make sure our partners do not feed this public perception? Okay, I asked the question now, I can't answer.
Who's anyone ready? Okay. Does anyone else want to answer? No? All right.
The answer to that, well, I hope it is the answer, is that we as the BMF believe in competency, right? And in believing in this competency, there are trainings that we are in the process of establishing, trainings around governance, right? Because we believe that we're ushering a new generation of youth, and we need this new generation to understand terms around governance, to understand terms around, competency, and to align themselves in a manner that is of a high standard. So if people understand that through proper governance, competency, and strengthening your reputation, you provide your own business better sustainability. So what we want to do as the BMF in partnership, the Black Business Growth Initiative, is to ensure that we can infuse that and ensure that it starts off strong with that perception. So I think as a first step, that will help. We hold people accountable as one of their values that they've put in there.
All right, Zola, you ready for us? All right. Give me 2 seconds. Well, whilst we're waiting for Zola, if you are on social media, if you are on Facebook, if you are on Instagram, do follow us, Black Business Growth Initiative. We're there on Instagram and also Facebook. We're live, we're active. We're not just there for the sake of being there. I think that's it. And also hashtag BBGI, man. Hashtag, as Butsaz was saying earlier on, every Tuesday we want to make it BBGI, and we're going to be posting. Every Tuesday we're going to sing our content on social media, and you can like and share, keep liking and sharing, and tell your friends as well. And already.
I think because of time, I'll just go through it.
Okay, cool. Do you need a mic?
No,
You don't need a mic. We're going to need you for audio people who are watching.
Okay. That's fine, no problem. Okay, thank you. It's fine. Yeah, you have a lot. Is it fine?
Are we good to go?
You don't have to if I can just go the quick one, cause all right. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Igama lami nguZola, and I work for a media agency called House of Lena. It's a creative boutique based out in Joburg, but we do work across the country, and we've got lucky over the past few years, and we did some work just in the SADC part of Africa, which would be Zim and Namibia. Basically what we do and how we do it and who we've done it for, we sell your idea. That's what we do. If you have a dope idea, you want to put it on the market, we're the guys to go to. So like I said, I'm just gonna be as brief as quick as possible. We can go through to the next one and show you who we've done work for. We've done work for Smirnoff here. We're launching one of the Smirnoff Guarana brands. I don't know if you, that small tin, we're part of the agencies that rolled that campaign, and it was a great success. Next one, and this one is Silulo Ulutotech. These guys called us last year, actually, Ngongwezi introduced me to them. They called us last year and said, hey guys, we're struggling now with digital migration because there were traditional guys on how they would access the market. So things were a bit challenging for them. They called us on board, and we pushed every button that was there for them. Their business now is running well, and we can point out and say we account for some certain percentage of their success. So this is a black-owned company, so it was great that they gave us an opportunity, and we got to express how we do our thing. Next one, Puti. And this is Old Mutual. So we've done a few work for Old Mutual. We've worked on the NCF, on the Comrades Marathon, Soweto Marathon. I think other one would be Music in the Gardens and product launches. So we've done a lot of work for these guys, and these are all our roster clients. Now these, we've gotten the opportunity to be the lead agencies, and the other ones were just the implementation guys on the side. So again, guys, it's a boutique agency based in Joburg. We're creative, we play in the marketing and advertising space. We just pimp your idea. We make it look very, very nice, and it works. And shout out to the guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zola. I think I'm going to ask Butsaz if you can kind of step in. We're going to introduce the sponsors or partners. Yeah, if you can come, please. It looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm talking too much today. So guys, as we mentioned before, for this thing to work, we need to partner with some people, right? We can't do it alone. We've mentioned, for instance, that BMF is in the house. So I'm going to call BMF, and maybe you're going to introduce the other people from BMF who are here, just to say a little bit, in terms of partnering with BBGI, and also the question that came up, what is the link? All right, so over to you. Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor from the BMF to be here. My speech was extremely short, but the more I spoke, and the more you spoke, and more I understood the feel of the intention of what we're trying to do here. I put on some points in, because I feel that as the BMF has been around for 44 years, right? We're a thought leadership organization. We believe in socio-economic transformation, right? And that's our main purpose. So when we see entities like yours try to advance black people and create a society of equality and a society where individuals who were previously disadvantaged can thrive in a system that was not designed for them, we find it important that the BMF partners to ensure or to at least give the organization the best possibility of success. The environment that we operate in as black people is hard. And we as a BMF have realized that in order for us to succeed as a people, we need to ensure that we tap into all our networks, right? We as a BMF will tap into our networks to advance your agenda. Simply because that's the only way we bring entities similar to the BMF, right, to rise to the level of the BMF. The BMF cannot be the only organization or one of the most powerful organizations of its kind. We need other organizations, right? So that if one day the BMF goes into trouble, we can call you and say, my man, we need you to come help us here. We have a problem, right? So I put in some pointers down about what some of the things that the BMF has done. We've done some events. We have some programs that develop youth as well as women at an executive level. But let me get down to some of the questions that were asked about the link. What made us really link with the values? When we read the values of unity and collaboration, that is something we as the BMF want to push for black people to collaborate. But more than that, we have learned through our experience that we cannot operate in silo, right? we have to be the best to beat the best, and we have to engage other stakeholders, right, who might not be black, but find a way to transform their mindset to advance the agenda of black people, right? So we will not find many of these people, and some of them are there, some of them are not. We will do our best to filter, right, and force corporate, right, or encourage corporate, to find a nice word, to participate, right? Because we need to be non-threatening, but we need to be aggressive, to be assertive, right? To provide a climate where businesses are like, I can invest in your business. Because remember, when it comes to business, they're about profit. They don't care whether you're black, white, or Mexican. What they want is to make money, right? And if we look at how our society has been designed, black people built the South African society. That's what it is. Whether through slavery, apartheid, we were cheap labor that built the society. So are we competent? Yes. Do we have access to market? No, right? So what do? We create platforms like this where we can have an economy within our system, where we start supporting each other and we gradually grow. We will not be millionaires overnight. We will not change society overnight. But if we don't start this now, our children will be suffering and will not have the platforms we have, because things are being pulled out of our feet if we do not take note of what is happening to the country, if we do not take note of what is happening in corporate, right? So that was one of the things that was brought the BMF closer. The other thing was excellence. The BMF believes in competency. We have realized that when you transform a boardroom and you just put a black person in there and they're not competent enough to manage the dynamics of a system that does not want you in there, they will, call you corrupt, they'll call you incompetent. So we believe that competency, limits politics within the office space. Politics is always going to be there, but politics is better with a competent person, right? And we believe in that because we have noticed it works. It's the only formula that we've realized as the BMF through our research, through our years around, that this is the only way, not the only way, but one of the strong ways that we advance it when it comes to excellence. And when it came to continuous growth, that's why we have programs now, for youth development, for women development. The reason we have these programs is, like the one where I was talking about governance. How many people here are sitting on boards, right? Because remember, you might want to be in a business, but someone else wants to advance their career, right? There is money in advancing your career. So what do we as the BMF see as opportunity here? That's why I said, hey, consultants should be on there. Is if you're able to one day be head of ABSA, head of Sanlam, guess what? It means that when we decide to invest in something that is for black people to advance the injustices, the chances are higher that we can get the deal signed. But if we don't have competent people who believe in equality, who believe that we have to have a society where we work together to advance the whole climate, we will have a problem, right? So that was one of the things when it comes to continuous growth. As I said, you have to be the best to beat the best. You need to be competitive to stay in the game. And us as the BMF, we operate in spheres of, influencing, policies. Because we know that if policies are not influenced, it's difficult for people to play. My guys are already tapping. I got 20 seconds. Let me end with the last point. The last point was personal accountability. Without accountability, if we as black people do not come here and have these rigorous discussions, right, where we, one, teach each other a new skill, two, provide insight in what we're doing, and three, hold each other accountable, create a norm, a standard, where we as a people are like, hey, we will ensure that you won't do bad. If you do not know, let there be a lawyer to assist you. Because sometimes it's not that we are corrupt, it's that sometimes we do not know what we're doing until it's too late. I had the privilege to come into the BMF earlier on. I had the privilege for them to mentor me and guide me to avoid the several mistakes I've seen certain individuals who did not join the BMF make, just minor mistakes. They lose their jobs, they lose boardships, And those things drive the black agenda. We need to have more boards with black people. If you have competency here, let's plug you into boards. If you have a business, let's advance you. So every space where we can advance, every space where we haven't occupied, we need to enter. Because if we don't, what the market does is just they shift and they keep us out. So we need to make sure when they shift, we're in there. If white people want to go to Mars, we want to join them. Good people, thank you.
Thank you so much to the BMF. Very quickly, Ulundu is telling me the time, right? So our other partner who is not represented today, and I thought it's very appropriate to mention them, is one of the subsidiaries of Telkom Business, WEP, right? So they are almost like our big brothers in a way, who are operating, in something similar. So we're learning from each other, we're talking to each other. So they've actually come in and, they've become a big sponsor for us. So it's worth mentioning them. And especially because what we are talking about today, these big businesses who then say transformation is important to us, they see something like this, they've got executives who are there who identify with this, and therefore they use what they have there and their access to actually support something like this. So thank you also to Telkom Business for that sponsorship. Thank you.
Ask your neighbor, are you excited? No, look, eye contact. Are you excited? And I want to sit, ladies and gentlemen, I want to sit in your body language. Just say, are you excited? No, look at them. Are you excited? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to have next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a talent showcase. We're going to have Utanke so coming to perform for us once again. Come through, my friend. Hi, Bob. Yes. Which song would you like to know? Mystery.
Mystery. DJ Sakaili Chakota Salab. Hey, ooh. Life is a mystery. Call me by my name and I'll find you. Your mother's working hard while your father's losing blood, fighting his own war. You beg to sleep, not allowed to eat. It's a cold and angry world. All you have is the beating in your chest as the hunger takes control. You have the soul of a warrior and the heart of a million lions. You have the strength of a tiger, and you're winning a losing battle. You have the soul of a warrior and the heart of a million lions, and you have the strength of a champion, and you're winning a losing battle. Life's not a game, but you still have to choose if you want to win or lose. Tears from your sister tearing you to pieces, not much you can do. Looking in the mirror, nothing but a broken glass on the floor. Life is a journey. Call me by my name and I'll tell you where to go. I know the ways of the world, and losing heart won't take you far, 'cause you have the eyes of a warrior. One day you'll make it out, and you have the soul of a warrior and the heart of 1,000,000 lions, and you have the strength of a champion, and you're winning a losing battle. Hey, whoa. Hey, ooh. No, you can't. We are live. You can't just, people are clapping and you start the next song. No, respect me. I was told here that you can come, you can meet people, you can tell people about your music. Next thing, they just want to ambush. So sing and go, basically. The next song I'm going to sing is called Indalo. It's a song that's very close to my heart. But before I finish, I just want to thank Uluntu for bringing me back here. This is always a very interesting space for me. I love seeing Black people gather in a positive way, where we're trying to decide what direction we want to take, and where there's so much support. It always feels really good to me that spaces like these exist. As Luntu has said before, I'm a musician. Hire me. It's COVID. We need money. Multiple streams of income. I'm also an actor. I'm also a teacher. But it's an honor to be here. I see some people I've seen, I think, at Ubumbo. I noticed the hat. I can't see faces really. But yeah, this song is called Indalo, and it's been my pleasure. You can find me on social media, Dankie So Mama Bolo, and my album is on all streaming platforms. Thank you. Now we can start. Volume, please. Kungatwa ilizwe liyaphela, nhliziyo yami ingafuna wena wedwa. Uba kungatwa ilizwe liyaphela, phefumlo wami ungafuna wena wedwa. Uba kungatwa ilizwe liyaphela, nhliziyo yami ingafuna wena wedwa. Amehlo akho abalisi bali, uncumo lwakho soze lundishiye. Hlaba umphefumulo wami, ndivule amehlo
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming back. It's actually not the first time Tank came to perform at the BBGI. It's the second time. And even when she released the album, the team was also supporting. They were there tuning in, live streaming as well. So please do continue to support her. And let's just clap for her once again. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that time. I can see it's getting late. And I see some of you want to go home and sleep as you go back to work. But before you go, you can stay around, mingle around. And, you know, as we network with each other, before you go, grab a bite as well at the back. So thank you so much for coming today. Don't forget to follow us on the social media, on the Instagram, on the Facebook as well. And look out for our next up-and-coming events. Thank you very much. Does anyone else have anything to say from the team? Yes? Awesome. Thank you so much. And do give us feedback, even if, you know, on our social media, on the event as well, on the website, etc. And let's keep in touch. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Just clap for yourself one more time. Yes. Thank you so much. Clap for the speakers. Clap for your MC. Louder than that. Thank you so much. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.